Hello and welcome everyone to yet another episode of USTM Podcast, where we dive into topics that are related to our health and well-being. Today's focus will be on a healthy heart, and our primary focus will be on the food for maintaining a healthy heart. With us today we have a distinguished guest, Dr. Quisar Jawed from Sangma International Medical College and Hospital. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Rajashree. And today, here we are sitting to discuss a very important topic like good tips for healthy heart.
So, sir, to start things off, if you could tell us any lifestyle changes that one can bring in their life which might contribute for a healthy heart.
Sure. As we know that health is wealth, and health we define as it's a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being in absence of any disease condition. Healthy diet is a very important role in relation to our heart or as our physical fitness. Nowadays, lifestyle modification is having very important role in disease modifying condition or to become very healthy. Like we have to take balanced diet. Balanced diet means it's a composition of carbohydrate, protein and fats, including fibers and minerals. We have to take balanced diet. We have to take more fibrous diet. We have to take more fruits in our dishes, and we have to take adequate sleep. We have to do regular exercise and physical activity to become fit and healthy. There are certain risk factors also which can be modified and which can which is a part of lifestyle modification, like age. As the age advances, there are chances of increasing for cardiovascular disorders. Then sleep, as we said, excess consumption of alcohol can lead to cardiac disease. Then smoking. Smoking is one of the important factor which we can modify to prevent cardiovascular disorders. Then our diet having very important role. It should balanced diet, rich in vitamin and proteins, along with omega-3 fatty acid components and fibers, so we can become healthy and our heart become healthy.
That's a great start, sir. So coming to diet specifically, what are some of the best food items that we can add to the diet for a better heart health?
Very good question, Rajashree. And for a healthy heart, we have to include in our diet like fresh vegetables, fruits. We have to take more fruits. Those contains trace elements, minerals, proteins. Then we have to consume more salad. Then food contains which contains like omega-3 fatty acid, which is very much beneficial for our heart. So like fresh fish and cereals. Then we have to avoid certain foods, like foods rich in saturated fatty acids and food rich in cholesterol. We should avoid these things, including alcohol consumption and all. We have to curtail it. Diets which are rich in fibers, it's very important for our heart. And when question comes about the harmful substance abuse like alcohol, so what happened when in alcohol there is one substance is found. It's called cobalt. For probably they use for preservation of the long preservation of the alcohol. And if somebody takes more alcohol, that in other hand, that cobalt, it's a very toxic substance which causes dilatation of the heart, and finally it leads to dilated cardiomyopathy, and again patient may suffer from cardiac arrest or heart attack, and it may leads to hypertension. Then smoking tobacco or smoking any form of a smoke is very harmful for our heart, because it affects our heart and blood vessels, which may directly or indirectly leads to hypertension, and hypertension again leads to cardiovascular disorders including heart attack or myocardial infarction in long run. Sometimes what happens in our day-to-day society, we use more coffee and chocolates. So there are certain limitations of everything. If we consume more chocolate and coffee, it contains caffeine, and caffeine is one of the important factors for palpitation, mainly in young girls or females. So we have to avoid this to become fit and healthy heart.
Thank you, Dr. Jawed. So it is quite interesting, and I'm sure it might be helping the people a lot as to what has to be included in their diet. So speaking of hypertension or high blood pressure, what are the food that a person can avoid, or what are the food that people can include to keep it in check?
It's a very good question, Rajashree, and it's very important. Like in day-to-day life, most of the patients we encounter, due to various reasons, they are suffering from hypertension, and hypertension finally leads to cardiac disease. So as the diet part is concerned, we have to avoid certain diets, like those diets who are rich in sodium content, because sodium causes retention of water and it affects our renal system, and finally it leads to hypertension and it causes disbalance. And another diet should be avoided, like excess fat consumption or high cholesterol diet or saturated fats, because these causes on long run, these causes atherosclerosis formation, and it leads to hypertension and other cardiovascular disorders. The diet which are very important in our diets for healthy heart are fruits, legumes, nuts. We can take fresh vegetables as much as we have to take. Then dates, fresh fish we can take, and then we can become healthy.
Dr. Jawed, it is good to know that we can actually include delicious food items in our diet for a healthy heart. So I just wanted to know and ask you another question. Is diabetes related to heart health?
Diabetes is one of the very important comorbid condition for cardiovascular disorders, and as the number of diabetic patients are increases, the cardiovascular morbidity and mortality are increases. So and it's considered as a silent killer disease. Sometimes it happens like we doesn't know the status whether patient is diabetic or non-diabetic, for mainly in young patients. When they come to doctor, then we will after test we come to know that patient is having diabetes for long duration and he is unknown about it, and it's one of the very leading cause of death as a comorbid conditions for cardiac disease and cardiac disorders. It may leads to silent myocardial infarction or silent heart attack. As we know, regarding diabetes, so when it's come to our notice that somebody is suffering from diabetes, we are very particular about our diets and food habits. If we can do it properly, if we can maintain our dietary habits. Like when somebody is came to know that he is suffering from diabetes, so they have to take diabetic diet as advised by doctors, and he has to take more precaution about taking not too much carbohydrate, not too much fatty substances and oily substances. They have to take more green vegetables and balanced diet as per the norms of diabetic condition of the patient.
Thank you, Dr. Jawed. Any last words before we wrap up for our listeners?
Yes. Healthy heart is required for a healthy body. Then we can live long and we can become healthy and fit. Thank you.
That's some wonderful advice, Dr. Jawed. Thank you for being with us here today and sharing your valuable insights with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Always remember, a healthy heart is a happy heart. If you found today's episode useful, please be sure to follow our channel and subscribe to it, USTM VOICE, for more podcasts of this sort. Till then, take care and stay healthy.